Check, check. And we are technically live in 1 minute. So just gonna ask you guys real quick. I'm gonna try keeping that audio in the background. So if you guys want me to turn it up or down, depending on the volume of my voice, we will get that situated. Basically, let's see if this is set up right. Hold on. Let's go to this. Yeah, we are looking good. So, maybe a little lower. How are we on that background music audio? Too much? Too little? Voice okay, music okay. Beautiful. Okay. So the technical start of the stream will be in T-minus 10 seconds. So when I cut this down later, this is where it's gonna start. All right. Welcome everybody who has joined. Thank you all for waiting, for chatting beforehand. I did the thing where I was had a feed going on for a little bit first because last time I tried to live stream on Fedora with Wayland, I had significant issues in the beginning of the stream. So I figured I would get any issues out of the way before the stream started, which probably is, or one of the good ideas. Why am I glowing? This light's a little bit too intense. I could technically turn it off, but then that wouldn't be good. And the shirt's light, so that's why I gotta glow. But it won't look as bad when I'm smaller. So, welcome everybody. Hello everybody. This is Tech Hut. In this live stream, what we're going to be doing is playing around with GNOME 40, primarily the extensions, because I've been using GNOME 40 with Fedora. This is going on my third day, and about last night I finally had to give in. I was going to try to just stick with the vanilla GNOME experience, but it absolutely does not work with my workflow. So I started adding extensions and trying to get it a little bit better. I've disabled some of the extensions, so this is kind of a vanilla GNOME look right here. If I jump over to stream, you can kind of see this is basically vanilla GNOME. There's a couple things added, some extensions I did not disable. The activities button is missing here, but if you just hit the mouse up there, you kind of see it. So what we're going to be doing is going over some of the extensions that I've already installed and kind of configure those. And then I'm going to be asking you guys for some assistance, trying to get some good GNOME extensions to go ahead and add. So yeah, with that said, I'm going to first run through what I currently have active and then re-enable some of the extensions that I just disabled. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and check out chat. Some people said something. So do you have an Android TV box? If you do, you can run Linux on it. I do not. I actually just purchased a TV that has Android TV built into it. And I rather enjoy it as Android TV, so I'm going to keep it as that for now. Just fix it by installing a good DE like Plasma. That could be a very plausible solution, but the reason why I'm currently running GNOME 40 is because of you guys. Thanks a lot, first of all. We had a poll. As my 1 month with Windows 11 experiment comes to an end, I decided to switch to Fedora for a month. The real question is, should I go with the default GNOME 40 or a spin? And double votes for GNOME 40 versus KDE, so that is why I am in GNOME 40 at the moment. So let's go ahead and skip down in the chat. All right. You need the Blur My Shell extension. I'll check that out. Save the extension recommendations, because first I'm going to go through what I have currently going on, and then I will start getting suggestions, and hopefully none of these extensions crash the stream. So that's kind of what I'm hoping. He asks, how old are you? I'm 24 years old at the moment. I'm actually going to be turning 25 in about a week. As a bonus at the end, try extension suggested by chat. That is exactly what I'm going to be doing. Hopefully none of them break, and they all have to work with GNOME 40. That's the thing. It would have been really easy. What I wanted to do is use the System 76 Pop Cosmic extensions just to throw the Cosmic Desktop on Fedora, and I would have been completely fine with that. I love Pop, the Pop Cosmic Shell and the tiling and all that. But it is currently only working for 3.38 and not GNOME 40, so I'm going to have to use other things. The best way to fix GNOME is to install Cinnamon or Mate. That is correct. You're 24, man. I have 24 and I don't have a beard like you. Yeah, I grow a beard fairly well, and I would have to shave every day to keep it off, so I've just given up and allowed it to stay. Okay, so first things first, we're going to talk about what I currently have active. And I disabled a couple that are some of the bigger extensions, so we kind of have a default look at the moment with some extras. And the first thing is this little weather thing. So what is this? Open Weather, one of the most popular GNOME Shell applications or extensions. And it just gives me the weather essentially for my area, which is very nice. Just trying to make sure this audio is not too loud. Okay, let's go a little down. Just like that. Here, I'm going to stand up for a quick sec. There we go. I turned off the camera because I had to like reach over it. Y'all don't want to stare at my chest. Okay. So, we have Open Weather, which is a nice little, just adds the weather. It's nothing too special. It gives you a lot of good data, so you can see today and tomorrow's weather here. I got a warning because there's a bunch of wildfires where I'm currently at. Where did he go? So, simple thing, if you're in GNOME, it's something you should have, it's cool. Next, over here, I have Gtile. One of you guys suggested this to me. It's a very good kind of window manager type application. So, like for example, I have Firefox selected right now. There's hotkeys and stuff, but I don't want to accidentally move a window around and screw up the stream basically. But if I have a window selected, I tap on this, I can kind of select the tiling for this, and there's all kinds of hotkeys and shortcuts, and check out, read my name, Magyar Linux Tutorials. But this is nice, especially for this ultra wide I have here, which if I kind of spin this a bit, you can see it's a very long monitor. It's very nice for streaming and stuff like that. But Windows 11 had a really nice snapping feature where it kind of recognized how long this was, and I was able to do 3 windows perfectly along it, which makes like 3 perfect squares. And G-Tile with, I think it's like Windows key, Alt, and 1 with 3 windows on this screen will automatically tile those. So that was very nice. The Material Shell extension works on GNOME 40, that's good to know. But like this, you could also just do basic selections like that, and it will snap it. And like I said, there's hotkeys too. Very similar to Pop Shell, just not as pretty, essentially. He's still calling it the Windows key or Super key, whatever your preference happens to be. Just get the Windows preset button from the new widgets. Yep. Replace G-Tile with Tile Assistant, much better. Okay. We'll take a look at other extensions here in just a little bit. Right here, we have a little, it's kind of blocked by my face here. Let's disable my webcam. I'm not going anywhere. Just so you guys can see this. Right here, these are all my active extensions, and there's shortcuts to the settings and all that. And this is really nice because usually, as you can see, I'm over here in Firefox. This is a good place to manage your extensions as well, but it's really nice to have it integrated into the shell to have that. So that's the other one I have running right now. So that's the extensions list. And then we have Arc menu and -2 panel. I tried out application menu, but I liked Arc menu a lot better. My name is Hungarian. Nice. Explore.exe versus current shell. So, -to panel. For me, -to panel is an absolute must. Let's go ahead and enable that. That gives us kind of the classic taskbar. I'm leaving it on top. I had it on the bottom for a little bit, but just to kind of keep kind of the right look of GNOME, I'm keeping it on top. Gives you those icons on the bar. Moves everything over, and this is highly customizable, so you can move basically anything anywhere. We're going to be getting into those customizations more in just a second. And then I used Arc menu, so let's go ahead and enable that. And there are some things I'm going to need to configure. When you enable and disable it, kind of messes up some of the configuration, but not that much. So before I jump into the configuration for both Arc menu and the -to panel, I'm going to read some of the chat. So try Blur My Shell. I will be trying extensions here in just a little bit. What do you think about the Heroic Launcher? I am not sure. I have not tried it. More Meta keys. Okay. Cool. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump into some of the configurations. And the first thing that we're going to do is go into Arc menu. Arc menu is a wonderful, wonderful application for this environment. So I'm going to try to make this so you guys can see it a little bit better. So let's make sure my full desktop is selected. And we're going to go like that and then like that. So you all can still see it just like that. Sorry for the double chat. I need to get another display so I could put it over here. But we talked about that in the past. So Arc to menu, I have it displayed on the -to panel because that is the other extension that I happen to be using. We have the position on panel, so you could have it left, right, center. So for example, if I put it in the center, it actually puts it over here, but to actually put it in the center, that would require some light configuration changes in the -to panel. For now, I'm going to keep it over on the left. Then right here we have display on all monitors, which I currently have disabled. It's kind of hard to show my other monitor here, but I have a separate -to panel configured for it. So I have like the only thing on this -to panel is basically the date and the like the system kind of tray to claim on origin. Okay. So you have the modify hot corner, which the hot corner by default is activities, which will pop that open. I'm going to keep that because I'm actually going to disable this activities button right here. So under menu layout, this is really nice. So right now, if I hit my menu, you can see I kind of have a Windows 11-esque type menu with the pinned applications and frequent applications with my user profile and some of the other typical things you'd expect in a menu. One of the things that I enjoyed in Windows 11 was the menu. And beautiful thing about Linux, within about a day from that design release, there were all kinds of extensions and themes for both KDE Plasma and GNOME that gave us access to that kind of style. So I'm using the Windows 11 style, which you can see my current menu layout is 11, and there's all kinds of other options here. There's traditional menus, modern, they have categories, so if I go traditional, you can see we have the layouts, brisk, budgie. You can get basically whatever you want in here. Please iTunes black screen fix. I do not know how to fix iTunes. I would not personally recommend using iTunes in Linux. I know that's not a very helpful statement, but it is true. Touch menu layouts, you have some here. Basically anything that's, and this might almost have more options than KDE Plasma as far as the menu alternatives, but I'm probably wrong. But like Mint, No Menu, Arc Menu, alternative menu layouts, they have Raven. There's a lot going on here. And like I said, I ended up picking 11. And then you could go forward and actually change some of the theming and stuff. So if I hit override menu theme, it's not going to look good because it needs to be configured, as you could tell. But I kind of like the default, which does save me a lot of time playing around with colors. So that's what we got going on there. And then we have customized menus, so you could change the height, the left panel width, right panel width, all kinds of different things you could go ahead and change. Enable vertical separators. We have our pinned apps here. So I have 2 more I should probably add just to make it look a little bit cleaner. And you can see I went and changed some of the names, like GIMP was the GNU image manipulation, whatever, had the full name there, and that didn't look too good. So I just changed it to GIMP, changed OBS Studio to OBS, GNOME boxes to boxes, took out the Libre from Writer and Calc, just so it all fit a little bit cleaner in this menu. So GNOME 40 is not my favorite at all, but because of their extensions and all the different options with the extensions, I am going to be able to use this, and after I get it configured properly and how I like it, it's probably going to be okay. But not nearly as good as Kdenlive, but it's going to be good. Not Kdenlive, but KDE Plasma. Here we have the option to add more apps, add custom shortcuts, and then directory shortcuts. So if I go ahead and hit this, where are my directory shortcuts? Do I have these enabled? I'm not seeing them. It might not be part of this. Yeah, I don't think directories are in this at all, which is fine. I have my little files thing here. And that's one thing we need to change to is the GNOME theming, because I think this is absolutely one of the ugliest icon packs in existence, in my personal opinion. Tech Hut, install Hungarian language. I'm probably not going to do that because I do not speak Hungarian, and then that would give me all kinds of problems. AutoCap, I use Pop, by the way. Honestly, yeah, at this point, Tech Hut should probably install KDE Plasma instead of scaring, yeah. Suggest me a distro online classes for some browsing. Any of them? Any distribution will run Firefox just fine. Most of them install it out of the gate. It just depends on what you like and your computer specs ultimately. Application shortcuts, that's not there. And then here we do have, are these options there? Yeah, we have the leave, settings, documents, downloads. So yeah, this 11 theme isn't integrated too well with some of these themes. This is probably the, to get some of these, we probably need to actually use their Arc menu. We have button appearance. So as you can see, I switched it to Fedora. It was just a couple, I think it was a 3x3 grid of dots. Please try Windows 7 in a VM. I don't have a reason to, unfortunately. But you can go and change the size. You can see the max is right about 48 pixels, but we can make it smaller. So I'm going to go 32. That looks pretty good. And then you have the menu styling, but I'm not going to really mess with that too much. Appearance, you could do icon text, you could completely hide it and then only access it with your super key, for example. Suggest me a distro like Mint but better, except Plasma DE. That's difficult. That's a difficult request, to suggest you a distro like Mint but better, except Plasma DE. Pop! OS Cosmic is really one I could think of. You could use Manjaro with XFCE. That's a really good one. You should have installed the KDE Spin. I completely agree with you, but like I said, this was ultimately your guys' decision. 64% of you voted for GNOME 40, so that is what we're doing. So let's minimize this real quick, and that's basically our Arc menu stuff. It's a very simple application. It's a start menu. It's not going to be much more than that. We have a miscellaneous, so you have other things, so you can import and export settings if you want to share or save everything you've done with that. And then you have about, and this gives you some information. So that is our menu. Our menu is configured, good to go. This is probably what I'm going to be sticking with, but I might change the layout, the 11 layout, to something else eventually. But I just came from Windows 11, so that is what I'll be sticking with. Endeavor OS is cool. I would completely agree with you if I was not doing this review. Like I said on Twitter, I would probably be in Endeavor OS. That is my go-to distribution at the moment, because it's basically vanilla Arch without having to waste a bunch of time installing Arch. You should try Gruda KDE Dragonized version. I did. I have a video on that if you're interested in checking that out. So we're going to be moving on to our next application here. So let's go over to our web browser, go to installed extensions, and we're going to start configuring our -2 panel. This one is a little bit more in-depth than the Arc menu, because there's a lot more that you could actually do with it. So let's go ahead, click on that, bring in these settings here, and this is pretty big, so I think what we'll be able to do is I'm going to right click over here, transform, and then let's stretch the screen. There we go. One thing with GNOME is, like, some applications are different, but some, like, to resize the windows with your mouse, it gives you, like, you have to be on the pixel of the border to resize it. Okay, please tell your firewall, please tell your firewall, please tell your firewall, please tell your firewall. I have not configured my firewall, so I am sorry, Wix logo. So -2 panel here. Position, we have our primary monitor, so I have monitor 2, which if I do switch over to monitor 2, you will see some configuration differences, because I do have them configured differently. And we saw that activity button disappear because it actually started following my please give me a moderator. No, I'm gonna have to pass on that one. Position, so this is our primary monitor, display panel on all monitors, so you could disable that if you'd like to. You could do the intelligent hide, which will basically, if you have a window full screened or a window too close to that, it will hide that. That's a very typical feature. I am playing music. Can you guys not hear it? Is it too quiet? I bumped it up a little bit. You could apply changes to all monitors, but what I'm going to do here is talk about what I've done so far. So I've changed the thickness. Right here, this is really nice. You have different boxes. So you have the center box. So boxes seem to be essentially like kind of the separator panel that you'd have on your KDE Plasma taskbars. We have the show application button, which is our Arc menu. I have the left box and the taskbar disabled. The egg. Oh wait. Oh no, it was the other way. Sorry. This means it is visible. This means it is not visible. This is your show application. So this is the default right here. And we're going to go ahead and disable that because I like using this arc menu. So all of these are visible. I have the activities button disabled, but if I do activate that, I did have it in the center here for a little bit, but I'm just getting used to kind of just throwing my mouse up into the corner to go ahead and activate that. So if we go back over here, we want to re-disable that. So we go to activity buttons and disable that. So it's very configurable and you can do a lot more things. So if I go over to behavior, I believe, you could do like a dock and have the icons move around. Oh, there it is. Animate hovering app icons. So if I go ahead and enable that, you can see now those icons are moving. It's kind of cheesy. It reminds me a lot of Rocket Dock, but you can change this to something like Plank, which gives you that old like Mac OS X Snow Lion kind of icon movement. And you could change the duration, the size. So like zoom, if I pumped it up really crazy, we have that. It's kind of silly. I personally don't use this or would recommend. We have a ripple. So that is what you originally just saw. And then we have simple, which this is kind of nice. It just kind of moves them around as you hover over them. But that's kind of silly. Let's just disable that. Let's see. What do you think about LXQT? LXQT is beautiful for if you're looking for a very lightweight desktop environment that runs all the Qt applications out of the gate. So if you're somebody who's used to using a lot of the KDE Plasma applications, but you want something a little bit lighter, the LXQT is great. If that's not the case, your overview is messed up. My apologies. Yeah, it's missing a few. It's definitely, what's the heaviest desktop environment? It depends on what you mean by heaviest. The most resource intensive is probably GNOME, but I'm not 100% sure. I've done all these benchmarks and everything, but I don't really remember. Heaviest in terms of features is definitely KDE Plasma. I am going to be doing that Jellyfin tutorial within a couple weeks. There might be somebody who wants to sponsor the video. It's like LED lights and stuff like that I could really incorporate well into that video, but that's still in discussion. So like Gardner Bryant actually like CPU wise GNOME. Yeah, CPU wise definitely GNOME. Okay. Behavior, we have all these different things we could show, such as show our favorite apps. We could get rid of that, so then it will only show applications that are open, but I definitely want to keep that enabled. I haven't really configured the apps that are up there yet. It kind of through Discord, Kdenlive, and things like that. Speaking of, let's go ahead and pop open Discord open, just so I could throw down that link real fast. Actually, I think I already have the link in the live stream thing. So yeah, it's in the live stream description. Dun, dun, dun. Go edit. We want to grab this real quick. Let's throw that in there. There's that if you guys are interested. Let's pin the message. Okay, beautiful. So now let's cancel out of there. So we have some extensions rocking and rolling here. This is how I have this set up. Nothing too special. You've basically seen all the applications or all the extensions I have rocking. So let's go ahead and try to find some more. I'm using Gtile. I'm going to keep that for the moment. So there was one blur. There was a blur thing somebody recommended. I hate Discord. It shares data with Facebook. Yeah, maybe if you use it to sign in. But that's one thing about me is, especially like one of the things with people who do like Linux YouTube videos is like the privacy thing, a little over the top. Like I'm okay if a company has my name and phone number, like that doesn't matter to me really. I am a little privacy conscious, like I'm using a custom ROM that has like trackers disabled and stuff, but some people go really over the top with some of that stuff. blur my shell. So let's see if it's in there, and let's see if it works for GNOME 40. So blur my shell, there it is. I think this is the right one. If it's not the right one, please do let me know so I don't screw up. So shell version, it says it works with 40. So if the stream crashes, I do apologize. Let's go ahead and enable that and install it. Contains some bugs due to implementation of the blur effect. Okay. All right. Are we still good? Yeah, we are. Okay. My when I did that, my Steam paused, so I was a little bit worried there for a sec. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and go to installed extensions and go to that blur my shell and configure it. So let's go ahead and open this up. All right. It added some sharp corners. Let's pump this up. Okay, I see what's going on here. And if it's all the way down, okay, that's cool. So, yeah, that's nice. Thank you for everybody who suggested that. It works with the default GNOME panel, which that's fine. I could blur this separately, but it does definitely affect the activities page. Dash panel, lock screen, app folders. So like if I open up files and I go to, yeah, that's going to be the old school shell. So maybe what I'm going to have to do, yeah, this seems like the only thing that's going to affect with me, because I really just have to use this dash to panel. But like, we'll disable it real quick just to see. Oh yeah, see, that looks pretty good. I still have this, which is nice, and yeah, it does definitely. We go ahead and move this around. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I'll definitely be using that to buy one of those. Thank you, John Cooper. I do appreciate that. But yeah, this is nice. It definitely adds, you can completely get rid of it, so it's, well, it's a little bit there, but not too much. Yeah, 100% blur it, but, or you go that way. That's pretty nice. And then this will, okay, so that's how I would completely get rid of it. So you can change that. If I go over here, or go over to this activities, it still has it over there. That's nice. If you put the panel on the bottom, it fixes it. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna end up switching it back anyways. Lots of artifacts, some artifacts, dash opacity. Yeah, that's a nice little tool. I do like that. It does, especially adding that to the workspace area, adds some character to it. Let's see. Oh, hey, it's macOS 11. Yeah. So what I'm going to do real quick is re-enable dash to panel. There we go. And I wonder, let's go into those dash to panel configurations real quick and see if we can get it to be transparent. I'm not sure how, but we'll find it. So maybe it's under style, icon, override theme background. And so that's how we changed the background. Okay, there's the opacity. So I'm going to change it to like this grayish color here, and then go to opacity and bump this down a little bit. Yeah, that, and then this is darker. It's not nearly as nice as that blur extension, but you can achieve it. Dynamic background opacity, that's pretty cool. Replace G tiling with tiling assistant. Okay, fine. I will, since you did the super chat. Thank you, Pizza, by the way. I do very much appreciate. Select. So yeah, we can get some blur, but it makes the coloring gets really bad the lower you go. But we'll stick with that. And we have the dynamic thing, so you could change how it's affected in this dynamic options. Yes, this is Fedora, by the way. Override theme guardian. Okay, so let's do that real quick, because this is probably what is messing me up here. Okay, oh, that's cool. And it's not what's messing me up. Let's disable that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to replace gtile with tiling assistant. So put panel, you're scaring Windows 11 fans with that top panel. Okay, for the sake of this stream, I will listen to your suggestion and place this on the bottom. And we'll move our little music credit thing up here. And I'll move this down a little. There we go. Is that better? Is that better? Okay. I'm gonna move some stuff around. I had everything set up for it to be on the top. There we go. Okay. It is on the bottom now. So I will not scare off people. But now I kind of need to change the opacity again. So let's bump this up a little bit so I can actually see what time it is. There we go. GNOME looks like Cinnamon but modern. What do you think about Cinnamon DE? Cinnamon DE is beautiful. I love Cinnamon. I personally don't use it. I used it for a while. I used, I think it was Bungee with Cinnamon. I rocked that for like a month or for like 2 weeks. So Tiling Assistant, does it work with GNOME 40? It does, and it works with 41, so they're really on top of it. Before I do that, I'm going to disable the current tiling application I have. So we'll go installed extensions, disable gtile, so hopefully that didn't mess anything up. I'm always super worried about things getting broken messing around in Wayland because OBS is really touchy. So if I do freeze for a little bit when I do any changes like this, I will be right back, and I do promise that. Okay, so let's go back, and then let's enable Tiling Assistant, install it, and then let's see, well, while this does what it needs to do, what do you think about Cinnamon DE? You read that GNOME looks like Cinnamon modern. I love Cinnamon. Do you think that that distros that welcome you are better? Not necessarily, but most do. I don't know of any like main or big distributions that don't have some sort of welcome dialog. Arch doesn't really have a welcome dialog unless if you install one, I guess. So I guess distros that do have a welcome dialog are better, especially if you're somebody who's new to Linux and you want those kind of little helpers or pointers, especially like I just did the video on Farron OS, and that welcome thing is pretty good. I need a new distro. Sorry if I ask a lot. You're fine. Which Linux is better for programmers? Like I said, distribution really doesn't matter because they all can get any of the applications. It just depends on what desktop environment works best for your workflow. And to test that out, you gotta try them all out. Essentially, you can watch like little videos going over some of the UIs, or go with something that's similar to what you're used to working in. But as far as like ultimately things are Debian or Arch, there's Solus and others, but whatever package managers you're used to using, unless if you want to learn more. But for me, like I'm most comfortable in Arch, so that's why I use Endeavor OS. And for somebody who's developing, you could get anything, whether that be a VS Studio. If you want to go full open source, you go VS Codium, gedit. You could get whatever, Kate, anything that you like to type code in. Any recommendations? Endeavor OS. Okay, so Tiling Assistant. Let's go ahead and go to installed. I would not recommend Gentoo, personally. Okay, where is, so I have gtile disabled. Tiling Assistant. Let's see here. Let's see what's going on. So we're going to close out this dash to panel configuration. I do kind of like it on the bottom here. I do want to thank you, Dominique. You've made me go back to my original ways. Do you think Fedora is better than Pop! OS or Mint? I've only been in Fedora for a couple days, so at the moment I'm going to say no, but I can change that answer in a couple weeks. What's your reason for using Manjaro or Endeavour OS over Vanilla Arch? I don't see many differences. The main difference is the installation process. In my personal opinion, the Arch installation process is a waste of time. And it's just my opinion. I don't like. I could throw Endeavour on a computer in 5 minutes versus Arch, where it usually works, but it might not work. I might do something wrong. With Endeavour, I'm pretty sure it uses Calamaris, and you can select the desktop environment, and some of the default theming with the desktop environments in Endeavour OS are beautiful, especially if you like those purple color schemes. Can you use multiple desktop environments in one distro? It's not the best thing to do, especially if a distribution is made specifically for a specific environment. If you're going to be DE hopping, basically, I'd recommend doing it in an Arch distro and installing them through the official Arch repositories or the AUR. Something like Endeavour OS would be good for desktop environment hopping, because you could literally, during the installation process, you could check all the desktop environments and install all of them through Endeavour OS through the regular installation, and then you could go ahead and just jump DEs with your window manager or your login screen. Display manager, that's what I was thinking of. Shutdown path. Yeah, I've never had a problem with Endeavour OS. Separate ISOs for each, yeah. I'm unable to use GNOME Shell on Arch. I tried a few different. I know Manjaro is about to release their official stable version of GNOME 40. Just read that a little bit ago. Tiling pop-up. Where's my tiling pop-up? Do we have it? Oh, I probably have to enable that somehow. Key bindings, toggle tiling pop-up. Let's make up something. Windows key, enter. Oh, double click. Windows key, enter. There we go. So now if I go Windows key, enter. Oh, that's to enable and disable it. Whoopsies. I've never used this before, as you can tell. Okay, so you can build your own layouts. Yeah, on the G-tile thing, you had to like have a string of codes to be able to go ahead and make your own. Let's see. Which is best DE, except for KDE? I'm switching from elementary and OS and want Python, but it's unstable on Arch. Use Cinnamon if you're switching over from that. I'd recommend Cinnamon. Installing Gentoo. I'm never going to install that. I have no desire to. How many distributions have you tried? I've probably tried like 20 or so. And KDE is definitely my favorite out of all of them. Okay, so I'm going to try to make a layout. No idea what I'm doing, but we're going to go for it. So layout name, disabled. Layout 1. I can't click on nothing. Nothing's working. That's not good. I can see how this is going to be better, but I'm not sure how to use it. Okay, cool. We have window gaps, focus on tiling, landscape, portrait displays. I do want portrait displays because over here is a portrait monitor. Key bindings. They use keypad. The one thing is I'm going to have to redo all these because I don't have a keypad. Which sucks. I should have got the one with the keypad, but I wanted more space on my desk, and that was when I had a smaller desk. But now I have a pretty significantly sized desk, so it doesn't really matter anymore. So corner tiling, side tiling, I'm going to have to change all these hotkeys. There's not too many of them, so that's not going to be too bad. Layouts, I wish this worked out of the gate. Oh, I deleted it. Okay, is it going to let me do it now? Vert monitor. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to look up how to use this. Try window snapping with your mouse. Okay. On my ultrawide, it's still trying to do the long side-by-side thing, but that's okay. I'll be able to fix that probably. I'm gonna keep this. I'll keep this. I just need to learn how to use it. Can I get that Windows 11 start menu on Cinnamon? Probably. Can you install, what is this, Arc menu? Install Arc menu Cinnamon. Cinnamon. I can't spell. Look, it doesn't even know what I'm trying to say. Linux Mint. Arc menu theme. No, I want Arc menu. Install Arc menu through terminal. It might just be. They have Arc theme, GNOME applets. Here. Arc menu. Cinnamon. Looks like there's just themes, so I'm not sure. There's a will, there's a way. You'll be able to figure it out. But it's a GNOME shell extension, as far as I'm aware. This one's unmaintained, but if we go under extensions, it should be in there. Yeah, Arc menu's GNOME only. I didn't see any results. If it was doable, it would have popped up right away. With Arch install being added, I don't see a reason to use Endeavor OS. Arch install is absolutely terrible. I don't get it. Does it do anything different? Am I missing something? Genuinely asking. For somebody, especially like a lot of the people who watch this channel are people who are like newer to Linux and don't want to install things through a terminal. Like GUI installers are magnificent. They're just better, in my opinion. They're set up well. Options are easy to select. I like Endeavor OS, and they have all the different options that you can select. It automatically does all the partitioning and everything for you. You don't have to select what partition is going to be swap and what one's going to be root home. You don't have to really worry about what file system you're going to use. Granted, I do believe that that's an option. RAM usage after installing these extensions. I'm running so many different things right now, it really wouldn't be fair to consider that, but if I go over to my system monitor, you can kind of see what's going on this computer. We're using almost 8 gigs of RAM, but I'm also running Steam, 4 Firefox tabs, OBS Studio, the GNOME extensions, like everything. Yeah. I like the elementary shop just because of the general layout and everything. And like the Pop OS uses it. The elementary thing is really good. What I like even more than that is PAMAC. The graphic user interface for PAMAC is beautiful. When you snap Tiling Assistant, it allows you to resize partitions like on Windows. Just tested it out on my side. Yeah, I'm not going to try to learn how to use it on the spot because that would be boring, but I am definitely going to be using that, and this is cool. Something I'd probably do a video on once I actually know what I'm talking about. It seems pretty nice. And we have the bottom snap. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's something I could use on my ultra wide. That's nice. I do like bare bones Arch install as is. Yeah, I don't have NVIDIA. I don't have NVIDIA anything. The only NVIDIA thing I have is, I don't even think you can see it. Yeah, my mic is blocking it. I have a 1650 pinned on the bulletin board back there just for looks. I bought it for like 150 and it's worth like 400 now because the GPU prices are ridiculous. For which upcoming new distro are you most excited for? I don't know. I'm excited to try out what I'm in, this version of Fedora. Get used to it. But there's not really any like huge updates coming out that I'm super excited for. I'm excited for the next version of Ubuntu to come out because that's going to have their new installer that they're using I think is it Go? They're coding it in Go, which is like a Google partnership thing. Chronicle's trying to partner with everybody. There's been a distro that has had such big issue that made it unusable. Yes. What was it? But it was primarily because my laptop, the drivers didn't work, and I didn't want to spend all the time. I'm trying real hard to remember. But I've had Linux distributions that just wouldn't work well with the hardware. It's not that the distributions were bad. It's that they just weren't optimized for the hardware I had. I know a long time Ubuntu didn't work for me, but it's fine now. I can't think of it. I do apologize. I haven't had any issues in a long time, basically. Yeah, I think it might be Flutter, because I did a whole thing on it. If we go Ubuntu new installer, it should come up. Yeah, this was February 2nd of 2021, and it's a pretty nice one. I did a whole demo where I got it installed through GitHub, and like after this point, it doesn't really do, these buttons don't work basically, and that's the last time I checked it out, but I don't know as of current. Does anybody else have any GNOME extensions that I should go ahead and try out? If I go under extensions, I'm open to taking suggestions. Is Fedora more stable instead of Pop OS? In my opinion, no. In all seriousness, would be good if Japanese input users would check it to make sure. Please snap a window the normal way by dragging it to the side. It brings up a menu. I think I might have accidentally disabled that. Hold on. Let's see. We want to go to tiling assistant and tiling pop-up, enable that. I'm not seeing it. Sound input and output device changer. Let's see. There it is. It's one of the most popular ones, so it must be good. Sound input device on, install. Let's see. Awesome. Yeah, test out those Japanese inputs. It only works if you actually snap it to the side. Ah, okay. Here, I'm going to snap this to the other side so everybody can see it. Boom. There we go. And then we have the options for other things. Very similar to how Windows is working now. That's cool. And I'm not actually going to snap these because then I'll ruin the how I have the window capture currently. But let's see if that works. Okay, that works on the ultra wide too. That's awesome. I just need to figure out how to get it to be the 3 windows instead of just 2. But it's still good. 2 windows is fine. So input sound changer, is it down here? Let's see. It's on. Installed extensions. Oh, so yeah, you just select this. Okay, cool. You guys can't really see it that well because chat is blocking it. What did I miss, my friend? You haven't missed too much. We played around with Arc menu and the dash to panel. We've just been chit-chatting, trying out GNOME extensions, because in my opinion, default vanilla GNOME 40 is horrible. It does not work with my workflow at the slightest, but luckily with extensions we could go ahead and modify it. Try just perfection. But yeah, this is very nice, this input changer. Before you'd have to go to settings and all that. Should I go with Arco or Artix? Out of those, I'd probably go with Arco if I was forced to choose between those two. Manjaro or Endeavor are my 2 arch preferences. Okay, so perfection is good, but dash to panel messes up features. So I probably won't install it, but we'll still take a look at the page. So, disable and enable customize GNOME elements. Okay, cool. So yeah, you can enable or disable, but I can see how this wouldn't work very well with dash to panel. but you can disable the themes, the clock menus, and all that. So that's nice if I was going to stick with the just the vanilla GNOME experience to be able to pick and choose what is available. That is cool. I'm not going to go with it, but that is nice. Tech Hut here, a fan from Algeria and France. Did you expect that? I did not. France is very, very low on the viewership. My viewership goes, I have, I believe, 15% people from the United States, about 13% from India, and then about, I think, 8% from the United Kingdom, and then everybody else is like 4 or 3% based on the countries. Welcome from Bangladesh. Is this your install for your day-to-day computer? Yes, this is my day-to-day computer. I will be running this for about another 28 days, unless if I end up liking it, then I'll stick with it. But after about a month, might be a little bit earlier than a month, 3 weeks to a month, I will have a full dedicated review. Cheers from Italy. Hello, viewer from Libya. Welcome from the east side of the planet. I do welcome you all. Hi from Boringly, Oregon. I grew up around in Clark County, Washington, so I'm very familiar with Oregon. Hello from Florida. Hello from Canada. Welcome. I'm currently on the east side of Washington State. For those of you who are in the States, it's rather smoky. If I open up this little weather thing, oh, chat's blocking it. Literally, the weather yesterday was smoke, which is not good. Hello from India. Hello from Italy. Please check out Vitals and Open Weather. I'll check out Vitals. I have Open Weather installed. So Vitals, a glimpse into your computer's hardware, temperature, voltage, fan speeds, and all that. They have it for GNOME 40, so let's go ahead and enable that and install this extension. What do you dislike about GNOME 40? More details. It just doesn't work with my workflow. Like this right here, I have enough extensions now that I'm starting to get it to kind of be usable for me. As you can see, I am more used to the traditional bottom dock, favorited applications, things like that. But going into activities, like I do like this for managing windows, but I don't like having to hit the Windows key and search something every single time I want to open an application. It just doesn't work for me personally, or having to go into that full screen application menu. I'm just not a fan of it. And I don't know, it just doesn't work for me personally. And that's one of the reasons why I like Manjaro GNOME Edition, is because like with Zorin and Farron OS, they have pretty good layouts, which basically has a lot of these extensions, or Pop Cosmic is basically GNOME, and that's another one I enjoy. But just vanilla GNOME, I gotta have my standard layout to be able to have a good time. Which is lightweight on system, KDE or Cinnamon? It depends. Cinnamon, they're probably about the same. If we go KDE, it starts off lightweight, but you could make it not lightweight really quick by all the theming, widgets, customizations, all the different things you could do with KDE. It can turn into a bloated environment really quick. But default KDE is very lightweight and a great system to put on really any computer. Yeah. So we just installed Vitals, and it is down here. So it's looking good here. I'm going to disable the chat for just a sec so we can see this a little bit better. If I click on Vitals, here, we're gonna make this a little bit bigger real quick. Oh, not like that. I'm working in multi-monitors here. It's not letting me do what I want. It's a little squished, but that's okay. If we have Vitals here, so the default, we can see our CPU utilization, as well as, what is this? What's it showing? The system? What's that? Oh, overall system load. So we have temperature, 57 degrees Celsius, so my CPU is a little toasty, a little on the warmer side. We have our voltage, our fan spinning at just under 900 RPMs. Memory consumption is at 20%. Processor 13. Network, we have it going. Our upload is pretty high because of the stream. And then our storage. So yeah, this is a really nice little utility here, and we do have some configuration options here. So we can disable the temperature, voltage, fan. We have our general, so position on panel. I could go ahead and change this to something like the center, which didn't work, so I'm probably gonna have to, if I wanted to customize that, I'd probably have to customize it in the actual dash to panel. So use higher precision, hide 0 values, and then you can enable, so like monitor battery, storage, temperatures, like voltage I know I'm not going to care about, fan speed I don't care about, memory I do, process system, network, and storage. So now if I open it up, it'll only have what I actually care about. So let's go ahead and go transform and stretch to screen. There we go. So that was another great suggestion. Thank you to whomever recommended Vitals. Let's get the chat back up here. Hello, everybody. Which tiling window manager do you prefer? I prefer i3. I'm gonna get a drink of water. Stay hydrated. That's key. I prefer the i3 window manager because I'm a noob and a normie, and it's easy to configure. I'm somebody, I don't like to spend hours and hours. Oh no, chat disconnected. Hold on, everybody. There we go. Sorry about that. Something happened with the stream. Went in and out. I don't know if that's fault due to me screwing around all the time or what exactly happened, but we are back. What I was saying is thank you to whom suggested Vitals. This is wonderful. This is something that I was going to be looking for. Let's go back up. Tech Hut. In Linux, unable to connect my mic to my PC. I'm sorry, I do not know. Tech Hut, I have a great and funny question for you. Are you a script kiddie? I do not believe so. I've written like 2 scripts, if that's even what you're talking about. Manjaro KDE or GNOME. Personally, I always go with Manjaro KDE. We're still rocking with these GNOME extensions, though. If anybody else has any other suggestions, I am definitely, most definitely open to them. But if you're going to go Manjaro, the KDE version of Manjaro is definitely a really good bet to go with. So far, the ones that you guys suggested to me that I ended up keeping was that the new tiling thing. So like if I am to drag this over, for example, we have this, which is nice. Thank you, Pizza Loving Nerd, for that. We have Vitals. Excuse me. You can add more items to the panel if you click. Yeah, we have this here and we have the settings. I actually took some things off. How did you get into the GNU Linux world? My first time, I did a video, I think a couple weeks ago, going over GNOME 8.04, which was my very first version of Ubuntu I tried out. And the reason why I tried that version of Ubuntu is because I think it was like winter break in like middle school and I was bored, so I Googled free operating system. And one of the first results was Ubuntu, so I downloaded it, installed it, and I used Ubuntu for a little bit when I was in the 8th grade. I think it was the 8th grade. It might have been the 7th grade or 6th grade. It was 2008, so yeah, I was in the 8th grade. And then, after using Ubuntu for a little bit, I searched up Ubuntu alternatives, and then I used Linux Mint. I would jump back and forth between Linux Mint and Windows 7 all the time. depending on what I was trying to do. Like if we go to like my YouTube channel, for example, sort this by oldest, like we can see, like even on this video right here, I'll make sure that's all the way down. On this video right here, that is from 2011, you could see in my virtual machine here, I had a Ubuntu 10.10, Linux Mint, Ubuntu 11.4, developer version of Windows 8. So I was playing around with this stuff for a very long time. Windows Vista Business, Windows XP Black Edition. So yeah, I've been off and on playing with this stuff for a very long time. Okay, so get out of there. At Tech Hut, Pop Shell Git version, which works. Oh, it works on GNOME 40. That's cool. I'm gonna stick with what I currently have because it's new and I want to try it out. GS Connect, I'm not sure what that is. We'll go ahead and take a look. Hey Tech Hut, I want a GNOME extension that lets me change my music and control it from the taskbar. As do I. If anybody knows of one, just let us know. Which DE of Endeavor OS do you use? I always end up in KDE Plasma. And Tech Hut, Garuda GNOME is good, and the latest update, which basically moves all the extensions. That's good to get that vanilla experience. GS Connect was recommended, which is a complete implementation of the KDE Connect specifically for the GNOME shell. Heck yes, let's do it. Let's install it. And I'll set that up later, but KDE Connect is wonderful. I would recommend everybody use it. Make sure that it didn't cause any issues. Where would it be? Is it down here somewhere? I'll figure all that out later. But thanks for this. I do need that KDE Connect. I use Kubuntu 21.04, but I've done about 12 Linux. Have about 12 Linux distros either on Debian or Arch on my home lab. Thinking about testing Fedora 34 with KDE. Fedora with KDE is probably magnificent, but it was up to y'all. So that's why I'm in GNOME 40. Let's see, just perfection extension. You don't think Garuda is kind of bloated? No, it's absolutely bloated. That's one of the points of it. If you're going into Garuda Linux expecting a light, clean, minimal operating system, you are definitely in the wrong place. You are going to Garuda for the bloat. And if you're somebody who doesn't mind bloat and you have some good specs, Garuda Linux is absolutely beautiful. Media player indicator maybe. Let's try that out. So right click, copy, and let's go to paste. So YouTuber, GNOME YouTuber. I'm not gonna say that out loud because with my luck. Fix Spotify artwork missing in media notification. Is it missing? No, it's there. We have a little artwork, so that's not necessary. And it's for 40. That's kind of silly. Can you add more vital options and dash the panel if you want to? Yeah, I disabled some. Yeah, if I go down here, these are all the vital settings. But I actually untoggled some of them that I don't really care about. All I really care about is CPU, RAM, and temperature. So those are the three I care about. Do you have any difference or find any difference between pulse audio and Pipewire? No, other than I think I'm running Pipewire right now. That's everything seems to be working fine when it comes to audio. I heard Impatience extension is neat. So let's go ahead and try that out. Paste Impatience, speed up GNOME shell animation speeds. So this is the default right here before adding this extension. So let's enable it. Hope it doesn't crash GNOME. And it made my audio quieter. That's weird. Oh, there we go. That was part of the song. Okay, so that does seem a little bit faster. Let's go ahead and see the settings for that. Impatience, settings. Okay, so here are the speeds. So we see that speed right there. And so 5 normal, 0.5 is twice as fast. So if I completely move it down, we can see that it's instant. So yeah, this is another nice one too. 0.5, pretty quick. If we go 0.25, it's almost instant, but we can still see some of that movement. And then 2 is even slower if you really want some smooth transitions here. I'm gonna go with 0.5. I think 0.5 is good. Super quick, but you can still see some of that animation. So I do thank you for impatience. That was a wonderful suggestion. It's dead. I watched your old videos about Minecraft from 2011 to 2012. Don't you think 2021 is a good year to come back to Minecraft? I would, but I don't. The reason why I don't do Minecraft stuff anymore is I'm just not interested in it as much. I've done so much in Minecraft. I've done everything that I could do. And for me to relearn or to get caught up on Minecraft stuff, it would take hours, and I don't have hours. I much prefer to do tech things. Like, instead of going back to what I was doing, what I would prefer to do with this channel is focus more on hardware. Do more like unboxings, Linux hardware reviews, like my Pine Watch just shipped, and I'm really excited to make that video. Ultimately, I would really like a 50-50 split between hardware content and software content. That's ultimately what I do want to do. Compass Magic and wobbly windows. I'm not going to do wobbly windows, I'm sorry. Best clean, modern, and minimal desktop that you know. Clean, modern, and minimal. Those three together, it's not common, but the Budgie desktop environment with Solus or anyone else is good for modern, clean, and minimal. Solus is a really, really good option. Hey Tech Hut, could you please tell us the difference between OpenBSD and normal Linux? I cannot, unfortunately. I do not know enough about BSD or FreeBSD or that I am not the person to ask at the moment. Ask me in a couple months and I might be able to answer that question for you. Tech Hut, screenshot tool extension is great if you need something similar to FlameShot. We'll check that out. Let's search screenshot. No use FairNOS if you want Windows anyways, Client if you don't want Windows. Okay. Clipboard indicator is another good one. Okay, so we got some more extensions coming in. Thank you guys for these suggestions. So one is screenshot. We have the screenshot tool. So this is it. Okay. Oh yeah, this is going to be nice. Does it work for 40? It works for 40. Let's go ahead and enable this. I'm going to slide up here so we don't miss it. So now we should have, yep, little camera icon here. If I pop that up, select area, select Windows, and select desktop with a capture delay, which is very nice. So like if I select area, we wanted this. And I can copy it or save it. So let's save it. Oh, this is nice. And then we can save it in there. Okay, so thank you so much, Orb, for that screenshot tool. Next, we're going to take a look at clipboard indicator. And ultimately, one of the reasons why I'm pulling all these from you guys is I'm going to be working on a top 10 list of GNOME extensions. So thank you all for helping me write an upcoming video, basically. Copyright indicator, let's go ahead and enable that. Install. And just for a quick sec, just in case, because I've copied a password a little bit ago, we're going to go to this. So I'm going to make sure that there's no passwords in my clipboard, which there's not. So I think if I copy that again, it kind of reset. So Control C. Yeah. Okay, well, let's switch back over here. I just had to make sure. So this is the indicator here. I'll disable chat for just a sec so you guys can see it. Just a little clipboard, and you can favorite, delete things from it, go to private mode so you can disable it from storing things, clear history. We have some settings here so you can toggle the menu, have some shortcuts. number of characters on top bar, refresh interval, preview size, history size. So 15 seems to be the default with this clipboard indicator. So that is a very nice little tool. Thank you very much for that suggestion. Enable chat. Hello, everybody. Let's see. Extension app indicator and system notifier. We're going to grab that. Change the icon pack. That is definitely something I need to do. Tech Hut, which Debian distribution do you recommend for home user? I'm still looking for smooth desktop experience using an NVIDIA GPU. I would definitely go with Pop! OS, the latest Cosmic version. Try CPU power management. Only CPU, Intel CPUs, unfortunately I cannot. Let's see, caffeine may be interesting. Do you like to code? I do not code. I tried caffeine, it's okay. I don't really have a use for it. I did like Solus, but faced multiple crashes and glitches. I'm sorry. So, let's see. This person recommended app indicator and K status. So, I know I don't want that one. Let's check out app indicator real quick. Let's see. So, app indicator. This is just like this down here, but I think this one's better, personally. So we're going to pass on that one. Change the icon pack. I need to. I don't know how. I'm much more familiar with KDE Plasma, so try the white Sir icon pack. Paste and go. And GNOME look. Let's see what this looks like. This is probably going to be like Mac OS. Yeah, see, I'm not really a fan of that. You need GNOME tweaks. I think I might have GNOME tweaks. Yeah, we have GNOME tweaks. Is GNOME tweaks package name? So, yeah, we do have GNOME tweaks, and that's. Let's see. So yeah, appearance. Okay, so this is where we change everything. Shell. Background image is corn. Do you think Pop! OS is the best distro for switching users, or is there a better one? Pop! OS will be fine. I always recommend Pop! OS, and I do not think that it's somebody said it's like all hype, but I do not believe so. I do not believe that is the case. Here are our icons. Where is the icons folder, and how do I get these? Full icon themes. Let's see what else they got. See, this is nice. This is really nice. I am liking this one. This is very similar to what I was using. We have to pick a folder color. Let's go with orange. Can we just install it straight from here? Orange. Install. Click here. No, it's not going to work. So let's download this. Download the orange. And download. Take a look at that. Price. 2 suggestions at the same time. I'm going to have to take a look. So save that. And you guys want me to take a look at this one. We have 3 suggestions for the same icon pack. So let's go check that out. You're looking for cursors. What happened to the Dragonized version seems to have disappeared. If it did, that's very sad. Here, we got to go check that out. This is emergency. Garuda Linux. Because I know that they had a multimedia one I wanted to try out, and as I went to go download it, it disappeared. Oh no, it's right here. Dragonized. It's here, available to download. Okay, so let's search for this icon theme GNOME. And here we are. This is the one that like 4 of you suggested all at the same time. This is pretty nice. I do like the, I think this is, I ran this in KDE for a long time, but I do think I prefer the all-round type thing. Yeah, what folder? Let's see, GNOME icon folder. Okay, so user share icons. Okay, and I'll check out that remix too. So we want to go into our home directory, or not our home directory. We want to go into our computer, user, share, and what was it? Icons? Go to .icons, it's easier. For icons, okay. Well, we'll go to .icons. So let's go back to our home directory. Home, Control H. Are there? Oh, there's no .icons. So we're gonna have to make the folder .icons. Hopefully this just works out of the gate. You have to install something called OCSURL. Check out Cora icons. Okay, so we're gonna grab this. We got some FairnOS PNGs here. Open this up. There we go. So let's drop this. Oop. Let's drop this into our .icons. No such file or directory. Let's see, skip. Okay. And let's see if it's in there. If it's not, I wouldn't be surprised. Icons. Appearance. Icons. Aw, they're not there. Sad day. Try Arc Menu. We are using Arc Menu. This is Arc Menu right here. You need to restart the GNOME extension, probably, yeah. So you may need to restart GNOME afterwards. I don't trust restarting GNOME while I'm live streaming, unfortunately. You can not restart GNOME under Wayland. Yeah, so I'm probably going to have to skip this for now. I'm a full 14-year-old Arch user with some top-level Python experience, self-taught. Trying flexing upon my friends. Love from India. Love from India. Thank you for checking out the stream. I'm not going to restart Wayland while I'm live streaming, unfortunately. So we're going to have to skip out on some of that. So clipboard indicator dash to panel. Looks like we have a lot of extensions. Does anybody else have any recommendations before we move on to some general updates and things like that? Custom hot corners extended extension. That might interfere with the tiling one I just got, but we'll take a look at the page anyways. Custom hot corners extend. Oh, no, this is hot corners like that. Okay, we'll enable it. Let's go for it. Thank you for the suggestion, Orb. Orb's coming in with all the good extensions. Let's see. Tesla icon theme. Quick htop check and see how much RAM you're using. I can go down here to check our RAM. Under memory, we are using 7.1 gigabytes of RAM. Oh, it's a folder within a folder. Did I? Okay, hold on. Icons. Okay, so Control C, Control V. You cannot copy a folder over itself. Cancel. Or Control X. There we go. That should maybe fix that. So let's go into GNOME tweaks again. Thank you for telling me I had a folder within a folder. This might work, might not. I won't be sad if it doesn't. Ha ha ha! Thank you so much for figuring out my error. The software doesn't have an icon, but we got some circular icons now. And if I go ahead and open up this, oh yeah, that looks way better. The Word and Excel are copying Word and Excel. Boxes, OBS, yes, I do like these rounded icons. What do you have for SysTray? This is, I don't know, I forgot what that was called. Can you do a quick H-top? We already did that. Flat blue remix icon. Icons, I'm going to have to spend some time looking at icons because I'm very specific in what I like. Let's see. Use transparent dash panel dynamic blur when Windows maximized. Yeah, we were playing with that a little bit ago. So basically you're making GNOME look like KDE. Yeah, yeah, a little bit. I mean, I have to use this for a month, and like after 2 days of just using vanilla GNOME, I just couldn't do it. I'll probably move this back up to the top and try to stick with the normal GNOME layout, but I'm so used to my KDE workflow. I actually have to get work done, believe it or not, and that's why I'm doing all these extensions. I wish the software icon would work. I probably need to restart it or something. We have updates, OS updates. Ooh, we got a new Firefox update. Beautiful. GNOME shell, CPU usage after this extension. After what extension? Let's see. Try the perfection extension. I think we looked at that. Let's see. Paste perfection. Yeah, we looked at just perfection because this wouldn't really work too well with the dash to panel extension that we're using, because this will enable and disable specific GNOME features, which I'm not using a lot of these because I'm using that dash to panel. But if there's no other significant GNOME extensions, I'm going to move on to some general chit chat and channel updates and things like that. I have a new table in here, which I will be using to do unboxing videos. I'm going to try a different setup over here. Can I move this camera? The office is kind of a mess, but this is the table that I'm going to be using here. I can switch to this. This is a bad view. I don't want to pull my wires, but I'm going to be using that table to be doing unboxings soon. So super excited for that. That's going to be fun. So now let's kind of chit chat with the chat, unless if somebody recommends something. I'm not going to do too much theming right now because I have very specific tastes that I'm going to have to look at. Well, we'll take a look at some of these real quick. So GTK dark theme. We already have that installed, I think. If you're trying Windows, you can make pop shell on their GitHub. Try CoverFlow. Mojave dark solid alt theme. Let's take a look at that one. That sounds familiar. So let's paste and go. Under GNOME look. Oh yeah, well this is more Mac OS X stuff. I'm not really a fan of the Mac OS kind of rip-off themes, in my personal opinion. When you distro hopping, how do you manage your personal files and data? Right here. Ooh, that kind of looks nice. Looks like an old school Ubuntu theme. Other locations, backup. This is where everything important is. So if I wiped my drive right now, I would lose out on some pictures I haven't moved, but this is everything that's important to me right here. So I have a whole separate 4 terabyte backup drive that I don't touch. Like Tekka HD, I have image backups, projects. Like under image backups, I have like the old Tech Hut logos and Photoshop documents, other things that are kind of important. I keep everything that's important in here. Tech Hut, this is a website, Tech Hut TV backup. I have almost all the videos and descriptions of all my videos, so like thumbnails. Like these are all video thumbnails, down to like super old stuff. Like this was from 2013, June 26th. So I have a pretty good backup of everything. Definitely try it. Why do you Wine packages, not have internet access, I don't know. Install Timeshift, take a snapshot, and try Pop Shell from GitHub. That might be something I would try. Check Elementosh. Yeah, see, that just sounds like another Mac OS X ripoff. Vitals is not system tray icons indicator extension adds icons like OBS, etc. Okay, well, we'll take a look at that real quick. Let's see, sys tray icons. You can also install themes and icons faster with URL if you use the app image. Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to try that out as well. Let's go to back extensions, app indicator. We'll take a look at this real quick. Legacy tray icons support to shell. Radeon series. Okay, let's enable this. See where it adds. Okay, so this is just... Okay, I see. Yeah, it just adds those, kind of the KDE icon section to that. Not too much. I don't need that. Nothing, no offense. Just use the KDE spin. I told you, you guys picked. It was your guys' decision. Y'all picked for me. GNOME 40. Okay, I'll check it out real quick. Where did it go? Right here. The dark one. We will take a look. GNOME look. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is pretty. Where's the dark one at? There we are. Oh yeah, that's pretty nice. That's a maybe. I'll keep that tab open. Can we change our option? Okay, so we are at, what time is it? We're about an hour and a half of the stream. This is how long I usually stream for. So for the rest of this video, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in on myself. Hopefully I'm not too sweaty because it's getting hot in here. I'm gonna scoot over a little bit and I'm gonna chit chat with you guys. So, if anybody has any questions, let me know. I'm gonna ramble for a sec on things coming up. First of all, the supposedly, unless if it gets like picked up by customs or something, the GenePad is on its way, which I'm very excited about. Let's see if there was any updates to shipping. So, Thunderbird, the GenePad is on its way. Super excited about that one. We have a lot of emails. Let's see. Our Pine Store order is in, so we will also be getting the Pine Watch, the Pine Time, or whatever it's called. So that's another thing we are super excited for. The one thing I'm checking right now is when our... I just don't want you guys to see like my address. We're checking it to see when that GenePad is supposed to arrive. They shipped it yesterday, but it still hasn't been reported to DHL. Yeah, shipper has generated the label, but has not been handed over. Okay, fine. Yeah. Let's see. The bottom of the chat is off the screen. I do apologize. We'll go like this. There we go. We need what DS said, increase your mouse speed on Linux. Have you ever tried or wanted to try any other window manager besides i3? I've used the DWM a little bit, but I'm not, I don't know, I'm addicted to this. This is a problem. I need this. And even in window managers, I end up using that. I'm just so used to it, and I'm not like the best with a keyboard, so I don't like have my fingers proper. I'm a 2-finger typer, sometimes 3. I throw in a pinky every once in a while when I'm trying to go fast. But I like KDE Plasma. i3 is good. I use Cronkite sometimes in KDE Plasma. I think the only extensions worth to install are Dashed Panel. We found out through this stream that there is a lot of really good extensions, And with that, I will be coming out with a video of the top 10 extensions after I try out some more and really make sure, try to narrow down a list. Check out a theme, Arco or Endeavor. Personally, I would definitely go with Endeavor, but that's just me. Will you be trying out, maybe? That is a disgusting mouse. You need an upgrade. Yeah, I do. This is, I think, it's a Logitech. I mean, it's small, like in my hand, like it's definitely not it's like a little clam. It's definitely not an ergonomic mouse. Yeah, that's fair. My laptop keyboard, it's a must. Which is better, Pop! OS or Ubuntu? I definitely would go with Pop! OS, just because I like some of the I like Cosmic. I think they did a really good job. Dominique is waving, so I hope you have a beautiful day, Dominique. The last video I uploaded was on Farron OS. If you guys are interested, you could go and check out that video. It overviews what is new in Farron OS and gives you a brief overview of the actual system, including some of the layouts, themes, things like that. So I would recommend you all check out that video. So again, scrolling on Linux, everybody. Goodbye. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this up here. I hope you all have an absolute beautiful day. Make sure you're subscribed if you are not, and like the stream if you did enjoy it. Good things to come, like I said, especially hardware, Jingpad, first Linux tablet that's running just Linux, and we have the Pine Time smartwatch.